Welcome, beautiful damsels. To survive, you must become invisible. To thrive, you must know when to reveal yourself. This is the unspoken creed of the Sigma female, someone who moves through life with a kind of mastery that others can't quite grasp. She adapts, shifts, and evolves, but never fully belongs to any one version of herself. It's a skill born out of necessity in a world that constantly tries to put her in a box. Studies have shown that adaptability is a crucial survival trait, yet Sigma females take it further. They shapeshift not only to survive, but to maintain their autonomy and power in a world that seeks to strip them of it. Why do they shapeshift? It's not just about blending in or avoiding conflict, it's about mastering the art of being seen and unseen on their own terms. Every shift is a strategic move, an exercise in control, a way to keep their inner world untouched by the chaos outside. But this ability to slip into different roles at will isn't just misunderstood, it's often feared. And maybe that's the point. Because those who know how to shapeshift always remain a step ahead, impossible to predict, and even harder to pin down. Number 1. Adapting to a world that misunderstands them. Sigma females navigate a world that rarely sees them for who they truly are. They've learned that being their unfiltered selves often leads to misunderstanding, criticism, or outright dismissal. Rather than wasting time trying to explain themselves to people who have already made up their minds, they adapt. They shapeshift to match the environment, not because they want to fit in, but because it's the simplest way to keep people at bay while maintaining their own space. This isn't about being fake. It's about knowing when it's worth revealing themselves and when it's better to let others see only the version they expect. Sigma females can sense when they're walking into a situation where their real depth won't be understood, and instead of exhausting themselves trying to bridge that gap, they become what the moment requires. Maybe they come off as more approachable, quieter, or more assertive, but behind every shift, there's a sharp awareness that it's just a temporary role. A mask that can be removed once they're back in a space that allows them to breathe. This ability is like a filter between themselves and the noise of the world. They know that not everyone deserves to know their true self, so they choose who gets to see what and when. This way, they can stay authentic while blending in with a society that insists on labels and stereotypes. It's a kind of silent resistance, a way of navigating social norms without ever being confined by them. The real power of a Sigma female lies in her ability to shapeshift without ever losing sight of who she really is. In a world that values conformity, she knows that sometimes the smartest move is to let others see only what they want to see. Number 2. Emotional camouflage for self-preservation. Sigma females have learned the hard way that being open with their emotions can sometimes attract the wrong kind of attention. People who see vulnerability as a chance to take advantage. So they've mastered a form of emotional camouflage, shifting their demeanor depending on who's around, protecting what's most precious, their inner peace. It's not about being cold or unfeeling, it's about knowing how to shield themselves from those who see empathy as a weakness or honesty as something to be exploited. They've become experts at reading the room, figuring out when someone's intentions aren't genuine. When they sense someone might prey on their openness, they shift. They might suddenly become more aloof, distant, or hard to read. This isn't to manipulate, but to safeguard. It's a carefully crafted defense mechanism, like putting up a wall while still appearing as if they're right there with you. They know that not everyone has good intentions, so they make sure only the right people get to see their softer side. But this emotional adaptability doesn't mean they're heartless. Quite the opposite. They feel deeply, perhaps even more than most. It's just that they're selective about where those feelings are shown, revealing their true emotions only to those they trust. To others, they might seem like they're wearing a mask. But that's just their way of ensuring they don't give away too much to those who won't appreciate or respect it. This form of emotional camouflage is their way of maintaining control. By shifting their outward demeanor, they keep themselves safe from unnecessary pain. And while others might mistake this for indifference, it's really just a quiet mastery of knowing when to share and when to keep their guard up. It's a survival skill that allows them to remain in control, even when the world tries to strip them of it. Number 3. Survival in a world of masks. Sigma females are acutely aware that almost everyone wears some kind of social mask. People present certain sides of themselves to fit in, to avoid conflict, or simply to keep others comfortable. But unlike most, Sigma females don't shy away from this reality. They use it to their advantage. Instead of resisting the game, they become masters of it, shifting their own mask to suit the situation while never truly losing sight of their authentic self. This ability makes them unpredictable, a quality that keeps them one step ahead of everyone else. They know that being straightforward and honest with everyone can sometimes backfire. People are quick to label, to judge, and to put others into neat little categories. Sigma females refuse to let themselves be boxed in. They adapt to each environment, letting others see whatever version of them is most convenient for the moment. Around some, they might play the role of the quiet observer, absorbing every detail. With others, they might be the confident speaker, commanding attention. It's not about deception. It's about recognizing that different situations require different approaches. What makes them truly unique is that they are fully aware that these roles are temporary. They're like actors who understand the script but never become the character. While others might lose themselves in the roles they play, Sigma females always maintain that internal boundary, keeping their true thoughts and motivations tucked away behind the scenes. This ability to shift and adapt without compromising who they are is a rare kind of strength. They can fit into social spaces without being tied down by them, engaging with people on their terms. It's not manipulation, it's survival in a world that constantly tries to define them. By shape-shifting, they protect their autonomy and stay true to themselves, even when no one else sees it. Number 4. Shifting to maintain freedom. For Sigma females, shape-shifting isn't a performance aimed at garnering approval or fitting into societal norms. It's a conscious strategy rooted in the desire for freedom. They recognize that the world is full of expectations and constraints that can easily ensnare those who aren't vigilant. So when faced with situations that threaten their independence, they adapt their personas not to please others, but to safeguard their autonomy. Their fluidity allows them to navigate social landscapes while keeping their wings unclipped, ensuring they remain untethered and free. This mindset empowers them to refuse entanglements that might compromise their sense of self or limit their choices. While many might conform to please others, Sigma females see through the facade of social approval. They understand that when you mold yourself to fit the expectations of others, you risk losing a part of your identity. For them, every adaptation is a tactical move designed to keep their spirit unconfined. Whether it means adopting a more assertive role in a business meeting or taking a backseat in social situations, they make these shifts with a clear intention: to navigate life on their own terms. This approach can be liberating. It allows them to interact with the world while retaining their individuality. They aren't interested in the superficial validation that comes from being liked or accepted. Instead, they seek experiences that resonate with their true selves, even if it means being misunderstood by others. When Sigma females shift, they do so with purpose, ensuring that every choice reflects their values and desires, not the whims of the crowd. Their adaptability is a safeguard, a way to keep the door to their personal freedom wide open. By carefully selecting when and how to shift, they maintain the power to walk away from situations that don't serve them. This autonomy is vital. It allows them to flourish without the weight of external expectations dragging them down. In a world where many feel pressure to conform, Sigma females stand firm in their commitment to live freely, reshaping themselves as necessary to protect their independence and ensure their wings remain strong and unfettered. Number 5. Rebellion through adaptation. Sigma females have a unique way of rebelling that most people don't see coming. While many think rebellion means loud defiance, Sigma females find power in a subtler approach: adapting. It might look like they're going along with the norms, but in reality, they're turning those very norms on their head. Instead of pushing back openly, they blend in just enough to keep others from placing them in a box, then switch things up when it's least expected. This shape-shifting isn't about surrendering to the expectations around them. It's about keeping people guessing, refusing to let themselves be defined by any single label. Society has a habit of trying to classify everything: who you should be, how you should act, what's acceptable. But Sigma females take those expectations and twist them, shifting just enough to avoid being cornered or limited. It's their way of playing by the rules without ever really playing along. By adapting to each situation, they stay unpredictable, always a few steps ahead of anyone trying to size them up. It's a quiet rebellion, one that doesn't draw attention but leaves a lasting impact. They become whatever the situation calls for, but never more than they choose to. It's a refusal to be fully known, a rejection of being boxed in, and it allows them to maintain their freedom while moving through a world that constantly tries to confine them. In a sense, they use society's own rules to sidestep its traps. Their adaptability is a reminder that true power isn't always loud or confrontational. Sometimes it's about playing the game well enough to be a part of it, while still staying true to yourself. And by shape-shifting when needed, Sigma females ensure that no one ever truly holds the upper hand over them. Number 6. Strategic power play. Sigma females understand that there's immense power in being underestimated, and they use this to their advantage like a well-kept secret. They've learned that when people think they have you figured out, they let their guard down. So, they adapt, playing roles that seem less imposing or assertive. They might come across as the quiet observer or the friendly team player, letting others assume they're not a threat. All the while they're taking in every detail, calculating their next move. This isn't about deception, it's about positioning. By shifting into a role that's perceived as less significant, they create a false sense of security in those around them. Others become comfortable, maybe even careless, thinking they have the upper hand. But Sigma females are always watching, always analyzing. They know when to stay in the background and when to strike, holding back their full capabilities until the right moment presents itself. When the time comes, they reveal the strength and insight they've kept hidden, completely catching others off guard. It's a move that leaves people stunned, wondering how they didn't see it coming. This strategic reveal isn't just about proving a point. It's a reminder that they've been in control all along, choosing the perfect moment to show what they're really capable of. It's a form of power that's as subtle as it is effective, letting others underestimate them while they set the stage for their next move. Shape-shifting becomes more than a means of survival. It's a tactical approach that allows Sigma females to navigate complex social landscapes without ever losing their edge. It's like holding a card close to the chest, knowing that when they finally play it, it will change the entire game. This calculated unpredictability keeps them in a position of strength, proving that sometimes the most powerful move is the one no one saw coming. Number 7. Non-attachment to any persona. Sigma females possess a unique strength. They can slip in and out of different roles without ever feeling tied to a single one. While many people get caught up in a fixed identity, whether it's the career-driven professional, the social butterfly, or the introvert, Sigma females refuse to let any one label define them. They understand that these personas are temporary, tools they can use rather than masks they're stuck wearing. This detachment gives them a freedom that most people can only dream of. They can be charming and sociable in one setting, distant and mysterious in another, and completely unbothered by the shifts. To them, these versions are like clothes. They wear them when the situation demands it, then switch when the environment changes. What sets them apart is their ability to never lose themselves in the process. They know that adopting a persona doesn't mean becoming that persona. It's a way to adapt to different environments without ever sacrificing their core. This non-attachment is why they're so fluid, so comfortable being different things to different people. While others might struggle with the pressure to be consistent, Sigma females embrace their own complexity. They're not afraid to be multifaceted, knowing that no single version of themselves holds any power over who they truly are. This adaptability isn't a sign of inauthenticity. It's a mark of someone who knows that true authenticity doesn't need to be rigid. By not clinging to any one identity, they remain flexible and unconfined, able to move through life on their terms. It's what allows them to maintain a sense of self, even while playing a variety of roles. This detachment means they're never boxed in, never restricted by the expectations that come with any single label. Instead, they define themselves, always retaining the freedom to evolve. Number 8. Psychological manipulation as a defense mechanism. For Sigma females, psychological manipulation is less about controlling others and more about using their assumptions against them. It's a tactic they've honed, turning social dynamics into a sort of mental martial art. Think of it as psychological aikido, where they use the momentum of others' expectations to their own advantage. When someone tries to pin them down with a label or assumption, Sigma females adjust their behavior just enough to keep them off balance. This approach allows them to defy easy categorization. If someone expects them to be passive or docile, they'll meet that expectation with a subtle but unyielding defiance, quiet but unmissable, the kind that doesn't need to raise its voice to make its presence felt. On the flip side, if someone comes at them with hostility or aggression, they'll counter with calm detachment, letting the other person's energy fizzle out without finding a foothold. It's not about escalating, it's about redirecting. This way of engaging with others makes them unpredictable, and it keeps them from becoming easy targets. They know that most people are comfortable dealing with familiar patterns of behavior, confident in their ability to handle a certain type of person. Sigma females leverage this, giving just enough of what's expected to put others at ease, then flipping the script when it suits them. It's not a calculated move to dominate, but rather a way to maintain their autonomy in a world that often tries to box people in. By mastering this art of surprise, they stay a step ahead, keeping others guessing. It's a way of protecting themselves without needing to resort to overt confrontation. It ensures that they remain in control of how much of themselves they reveal and when. For Sigma females, manipulation isn't about pulling strings. It's about turning the tides, subtly shifting the balance of power while others are still trying to catch up. Number 9, guardians of their personal universe. Sigma females operate like guardians of their personal universe, skillfully managing who gets access to the intricate landscape of their thoughts and emotions. Each shift in persona is a carefully considered decision, allowing them to curate their interactions in a way that feels safe and authentic. This adaptability is not just a survival tactic, it's a protective barrier around their innermost selves. They understand that revealing too much too soon can invite unwanted scrutiny or even manipulation from others, so they keep their core essence private and untouched. By shifting between personas, they control the narrative of who they are and what they share. When they sense that someone is genuine and worthy of their trust, they may open up a little, revealing a glimpse of their true self. Conversely, when they encounter someone who feels invasive or disingenuous, they can pull back and adopt a more guarded role, effectively keeping their emotions and thoughts at a distance. It's not that they're being dishonest, rather, they're being selective about what they share and with whom. This approach fosters a sense of inner peace, as Sigma females can navigate social situations without feeling exposed. They create a sanctuary where only those they deem worthy can enter, maintaining the integrity of their inner garden. This curated access allows them to thrive on their own terms, building connections that feel authentic and meaningful, while keeping the more delicate aspects of themselves shielded from potential harm. Moreover, this self-preservation strategy enables them to assess others carefully, ensuring that they only invest their time and energy in relationships that align with their values. The adaptability they exhibit isn't merely for show. It's a vital part of how they maintain control over their personal universe. By controlling the flow of information about themselves, they ensure that their core remains intact and unharmed, allowing them to flourish in an unpredictable world while staying true to who they are at their essence. Number 10. Walking through different realities. Sigma females possess a remarkable ability to navigate through different realities, not merely as a performance but as a genuine exploration of diverse facets of existence. Unlike those who feel compelled to stick to a singular identity, they can inhabit various roles and perspectives, fully engaging with each one while remaining rooted in their core self. One day, they might embrace their assertive side, stepping into a leadership role, commanding attention and respect. The next day, they might retreat into introspection, donning a cloak of quiet reflection that allows them to connect deeply with their thoughts and emotions. This fluidity isn't an act of pretending, it's an authentic expression of their multifaceted nature. Sigma females understand that life is complex and that people often present themselves through different lenses depending on the situation. They resonate with this truth, finding empowerment in their ability to embody multiple versions of themselves. This adaptability allows them to connect with a wide range of individuals, each of whom may resonate with a specific aspect of their personality. It's as if they hold a mirror to those around them, reflecting back the parts of themselves that others can relate to most. Moreover, this capability offers them the freedom to explore different truths without being confined by the expectations that accompany any single identity. They can be bold and decisive in one moment, then contemplative and sensitive in the next, all while maintaining a sense of self that remains intact. This dynamic interplay of roles enriches their experience of life, providing a deeper understanding of themselves and the world around them. Living out these varied truths allows Sigma females to approach challenges from multiple angles, often leading to innovative solutions and insights. They thrive on this diversity, knowing that their strength lies in their capacity to shift and adapt. They embrace the complexity of their identities and recognize that each facet adds to the richness of their existence. In doing so, they walk through life with an open mind, unencumbered by the limitations of a single narrative, and empowered by the knowledge that they can genuinely inhabit different realities at will. In a world that often demands conformity, Sigma females redefine the rules by embracing their ability to shapeshift. Their adaptability is not a sign of weakness but a powerful assertion of independence, allowing them to navigate various realities while remaining true to themselves. By shifting to maintain freedom rather than to please, they craft their paths with intention, skillfully dodging the limitations imposed by societal expectations. Each persona they adopt serves a purpose, whether it's to protect their inner sanctum or to engage with others on their own terms. This extraordinary ability to walk through different realities reflects a deep understanding of themselves and the world around them. Sigma females recognize that life is a tapestry of diverse experiences, and their fluidity enhances their perspective, enriching their interactions and insights. Rather than feeling confined by labels, they thrive in their multifaceted existence, continuously exploring new dimensions of their identity. Ultimately, Sigma females serve as a reminder that true strength lies in authenticity. They challenge the notion that we must fit into predefined molds, instead showcasing the beauty of embracing complexity and change. Their journey is one of liberation, a powerful statement that it's possible to exist outside the bounds of conventionality while remaining fully engaged in life. By guarding their personal universe and asserting their freedom, Sigma females inspire others to break free from societal constraints, encouraging a world where authenticity reigns supreme and individuality is celebrated. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Sigma females and their remarkable ability to shapeshift, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Join our community for more insightful discussions that celebrate individuality and empowerment. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content that challenges the status quo and inspires you to live life on your own terms. Thanks, damsels, for tuning in. See you in the next vid. Bye and stay blessed.